Alright, this is going to be Real Talk episode 45. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with this format in this series, it's basically me just talking about whatever I want. But in this particular Real Talk, I'm going to mostly stick to the subject or the title of the video. And before I get started, I'm just going to put out some disclaimers. This is going to be a long video because I'm going to go slow. I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to go on a crazy rant like I normally do. But I do want to talk to some of my viewers, my good viewers, great viewers, that I highly respect. But I do have some disagreements with certain things that they're saying. And I'm going to be as respectful as I can be. But you guys, please pay attention. Whoever I talk to in this video, or if I call out your name or if I show your comment, I'm talking to you basically. And I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. Because I want you to understand me, right? I want us to get to a common ground. I want us to get to an understanding. And the issues aren't necessarily that great, except for maybe one person. But I'll address that as I go. And it can be understood. It can be resolved. So I'm probably going to be taking some breaks, getting a drink of water here and there. It's going to be a long video because I'm going to be very thoughtful and very extensive with my responses to these comments. I have responded to most of these comments already on the videos, but apparently that wasn't enough to get my understanding or my meaning across. So I'm going to make a whole video on it. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. If you guys look at the screen, and I got to be careful with the way I talk because sometimes I'll listen to my videos and I'll get pissed off at myself. I'm like, man, I sound like an idiot. But anyways, yeah, and I judge myself too, right? I don't just judge other people. I judge myself very harshly. But anyways, so Kirali W. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, and I apologize. You're one of my very good viewers. You've been watching me for a long time. I highly appreciate your comments. And you're usually pretty positive. I believe you're a Kim supporter. And yeah, you usually drop good things in the comment section. But I do have a little issue. Sometimes you say certain things where I'll disagree with you, but because I don't want to ruffle your feathers, I'll just let it go. But there's one thing I do want to point out in this comment. And this is in the video where I talked about Peanut and Donald Trump, right? And I was pointing out their similarities in terms of, how do you say this? Their effect on the world, right? And I was very thorough with what I said. But you did say this right here. And again, this isn't really a big deal. Honestly, you're probably the least person that I'm going to go after in terms of what I'm going to say to you. Like, this comment was pretty harmless. So don't think there's any negativity or any problems. It's just that this issue that I have with Kim supporters, where they keep saying this thing about Trump being dead. Let me explain to you, all you Kim supporters, anybody that's a Kim supporter that's watching this video, it doesn't matter if Trump is dead, and I'm tired of hearing about it, okay? I don't care if he's dead or not. I don't care. You know why? Because there's some guy running around in a Donald Trump mask who's just as effective, just as diabolical, just as manipulative as the real Donald Trump. And he ran for the presidency. He won the presidency. As far as I know, and the general public knows, he's still alive. And if you think his physical body is dead, he's still alive in spirit through this other Trump. So it doesn't matter if Trump is dead or not. Please stop. You guys tell me this like it's some kind of sacred knowledge. Oh my God, don't forget, Trump is dead. Stop. I don't want to hear about it anymore. And again, this isn't towards you necessarily, Kiral, because you're not the only person that said this. A lot of people have come by and said this. A lot. Like, I've heard this for like 3 or 4 years now. I'm tired of hearing it. I get it. If you guys think he's dead, cool, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, there's still a guy that looks like similar enough to Trump, sounds similar enough to Trump, acts similar enough to Trump, that people are fooled by, that believe, they genuinely believe this guy's Trump. So guess what? Doesn't matter if you think he's dead or not. This other guy's doing a damn good job of impersonating Trump. And that's it. So as long as that's there. And then there's this theory that I've heard where people say, well, the real people died, but there are clones. So why are the clones allowed to exist if they're not real people? Can somebody answer that for me? Yeah, it makes no sense. Anyways, so I'm tired of hearing about it. Again, no hard feelings, Carol, because this is frustration that I've had over years of people continuously throwing this in my face. Like, don't forget, Trump is dead. And I even saw it in the video with what's his name, George Iceman and Kim, the last little interview they did. I had it on my live stream, but in the comment section there, you can see the same thing. People are like, oh, look, we know that Trump is dead. Trump is dead. Don't forget Trump is dead. He's not the real Trump. He's a fake Trump. I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't matter. He's still doing the same shit. So stop. Please. I don't want to hear this shit anymore. All right? All right. Anyways, no hard feelings again, Carl. You're great. I enjoy your comments. This is really the only issue I have. I've had other different little issues with you in terms of the things you said, but they were so minor. And I was like, I'm not gonna make a big deal about this because 99% of the things you say I agree with. Okay, but this little thing here with Trump being dead, I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm done with that. But anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Kind of rambled too much on that. So now let's go to the next person. This one I have a little bit more of an issue with because I like this person, but for some reason, this is the second time they did this, and I tried to tell them, and I like your information, I like your knowledge. We have a lot of actually similar knowledge. We know a lot of the same things, but I'm not wrong when I speak. Like if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. You can call it an ego thing, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit. All right? When I speak, I know what I'm saying. If you guys don't understand me or you have an issue with me and what I say, that's on you. That means something is wrong with you, your knowledge, and the way you interpret what I say. That's something you got to fix. I don't have to fix anything because I know what I'm talking about. All right. But anyways, you said this here. So your comment where I made a video response to you. I am your muse, right? I made a video response to you. I don't know if you ignored that video or did you watch it or what, but I made a video responding to you, and I specifically told you that I don't like when you say this. And this was the comment I was referring to. And you contradict yourself in your own comment. So this is an issue. This is why I think people start to become robotic with their knowledge, or they become like bots where they just, or NPCs where they just repeat. They heard somebody say something, repeat, but they're not interpreting the knowledge that they're getting. They're just repeating it. And then you're making mistakes in your speech when you speak to me. And I see it. Maybe other people don't see what you're saying or the mistakes that you're making, but I see it. All right. So now, first, I'm going to show that you said this here 12 days ago. It isn't humans that are naive or gullible. Okay. So you're trying to correct me in what I said because I made this video here talking about people being naive and gullible. And I even made a whole video where I broke down what the meaning of the words were and everything. Now I'm going to read your own comment, okay? This was the comment I was looking for. I found it. I was able to pull it up from YouTube. I had to do this little trick here. Let me show you the trick so you guys can see. If you have it on top comments, it's gone. It's hidden. It's not there. And I had to do some research to find this. But now if I do this, newest first, it shows up. You see that? So there's a trick with YouTube, and I had to do research to figure that out, where they hide your comments, but then if you sort it by newest first, it'll show up. But anyways, regardless, your comment showed up again, so I was able to see it, and I have my response here. Now I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to read your comment. I'm going to show you how you contradict yourself, okay? And it's really only 2 lines, this beginning line here, and then you say something later on that's going to contradict, and I'll show you. So you said, it isn't humans that are naive or gullible, and I already read the definition of these words. All right. So if you guys haven't seen that, I mean, shit, do I have to pull it up again? Do I have to redo the same video that I already did? I already explained what these words mean, but whatever. Let's just go through this. It isn't that humans, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to pull it up again. Naive. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Naive. Gullible. Okay. Having or showing a lack of experience, judgment, or information. Credulous. Okay? Gullible means easily deceived or cheated, especially by being quick to believe something that is not true. That is literally how humans are. Like that's the epitome of how humans are. Do you understand? Humans are naive and gullible. Naive and gullible, okay? They are lacking in experience, judgment, and information, okay? They don't have experiences. That's why they deny when we talk about supernatural things like alien encounters and things like that. They lack judgment because they always pick the wrong thing. And that's why they end up in the situations that they're in right now. Instead of doing the right thing, they always choose the wrong thing because the wrong thing is usually the easiest thing. That's how humans are. And they lack information. That's why they don't believe when people tell them the truth. That's why they argue with people like us. That's how humans are. Whether you want to agree with me or not doesn't matter. So again, I'm going to say the same thing I said in the other video. I know the words that I'm using. I know what I'm saying, okay? I'm not just using words. I know what the fuck I'm saying. So I don't like when somebody corrects me when I know what the fuck I'm talking about because they want to be an NPC or bot or repeat some information. Or maybe you have a soft spot for humans. That's great. But because you have this, I'm supposed to just let you disagree with me? No. Just because you're soft or a light work or whatever, and I don't think you're a soft person. But when you do this defensive thing where you're like, oh, I got to defend humans. Humans aren't naive and gullible. Yes, they are. And what's gullible? Easily deceived or cheated. That's why humans can't figure out what the fuck's going on in the world. And they're easy. Look, especially by being quick to believe something that is not true. That is literally, that couldn't be more right of how to describe humans. They always believe things that are not true. How do you think we have the world that we have now? Because everyone believes in lies. So again, humans are naive and gullible. And you're going to agree with me and disagree with me in your same comment. I'm going to show you. So watch this. It's also technology that keeps them in the loop. I'm human and I became aware of things at a young age. Like I didn't catch the virus or mind control bug. They forget so fast and the programs run in them. Once they might get a sliver of truth, they argue in their minds and the program kicks in. So programming is the same as being gullible. You know why? Because they're being fed information that's not true and they're programmed. Hence they're gullible. Like somebody like me, I'm not gullible. You can't program me. Do you understand? That's why I don't consider myself human. Because I'm not naive and I'm not gullible. You can't program me. You can't put things in my head and brainwash me, and then I'll just listen to whatever you say. If that was the case, then guess what I would be doing right now? I would just say, great comment. No, I have nothing to say. Good job. No, but I do have a problem with your comment. Do you understand? Because you're saying the wrong thing and you're contradicting yourself. So there's an issue here that needs to be resolved. And that's it. And it's cool. We can talk about it, right? We can go back and forth. But you need to understand when I speak, I know what I'm saying. I'm not just talking. All right? But anyways, let's continue with what you're saying. They argue in their minds and the programming kicks in and has a lot to do with ego and their belief systems. Exactly. Their belief systems are the lies, the gullible shit they fall for. That's what it is. They've been lied to and they've been fooled because they're naive and they're gullible. That is all shoved into God's stuff. And we are just too dumb to know the truth. We are just too. So you're agreeing with us. So what's the definition of dumb? Dumb. Temporarily unable or willing to speak. Make dumb or unheard. Silence. Blah, blah, blah. What does dumb mean? Express disapproval or disbelief in something that is considered unintelligent or foolish. Well, this isn't really giving me the definition I'm looking for, but for the most part, unable to speak as a natural state and thus regarded as helpless or deserving pity. So in other words, they're different, definitions, but the definition that I'm looking for, which I'm sure you all understand, is right here. Lacking intelligence, stupid, pretended to be dumb, showing a lack of intelligence. Okay, that's the definition I'm looking for. Okay, Merriam-Webster. There you go. Bam. Okay, so yeah, you can ignore all of that, but you guys get the point. And that's the general understanding of what the word dumb is. So you're using the word dumb here. And I feel like I'm being nitpicky at this point, but it's because you keep doing this thing right here where you keep saying you're trying to correct me and you're not correcting me. You're making yourself look dumb. But anyways, that is all shoved into God stuff, and we are just too dumb to know the truth. So what's dumb? Dumb is stupid. Dumb. Lacking intelligence. Lacking information. Okay? It's that simple. That's what humans are. So just because you chose a different word to describe humans, and you said we, and I'm assuming you're including yourself in the human race, then you're agreeing with what I'm saying, basically, but you're disagreeing at the same time. I don't know why you're doing that. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Are you trying to be sympathetic towards humans? You don't want me to talk bad about them, so you feel the need to correct me? You're not doing anything. You're just making excuses for them, which is why we're in the world we're in now. This pacifist excuses bullshit. This is why we keep going through the same garbage, because people don't want to own up to the shit, or you're afraid of hurting someone's feelings, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think you're like that. That's the weird part about this. That's why I don't understand why you're doing this. I don't understand why you're trying to argue with me. And that's what it is. An argument is a disagreement. You're disagreeing with me. Why? I don't get it. And then you keep doing it. And then, again, you just proved yourself wrong because you agreed with me here by saying they're dumb, or you're dumb, or humans are dumb, whatever. That is what is wrong with them. They've been programmed since birth, especially religion. You know why they've been programmed? Because they're naive and gullible. It's that simple. Anyways, their religion tells them to trust in God, to love Him with all your heart. And what the fuck? Am I reading this wrong? And His will, and it's all a lie. It's not IQ. It's pure awareness. They don't seem to access like you and me. Okay, again, it's the same shit. This is what's pissing me off about what you're saying. It's like you're trying to change my words, and you're saying the same thing I'm saying, but you're saying it in a different way because you want to be right over me, but you're not really disagreeing with me. That's why I don't know what are you doing here. This is like NPC kind of robotic shit that you're doing. It's like, well, I want to disagree with you, but I want to agree with you. So how do I use different words to say the same thing you're saying? This is stupid. Stop. We're saying the same shit, but you're trying to say something different. Stop. Just agree with me and move on. You don't need to write all of this when you actually agree with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you understand, because I'm not trying to be mean, but you keep doing this. This is the second time you did this shit. And you've done it in other posts, but I didn't say anything about those. I let those go. But it's getting to a point where it's like, how many times you're going to say the same thing and try to correct me when you're not correcting me? And I like you. That's why I don't know why you're doing this shit. But anyways, whatever. It's not really a big deal, but it keeps happening. So it needs to stop. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, and this is the issue. You can't talk about NPCs when you're doing NPC type shit. You can't talk about bots when you're doing bot type shit. Do you understand? Like, you're being a hypocrite. You can't call other people bots and dumb and this and that when you're doing the same shit. It makes no sense. Whatever. So you said it's not IQ. Let me read this again. It's pure awareness. They don't seem to access like you and me. Well, I would say me, but I don't know about you. We are few, and this makes me wonder if most are just NPCs, the background characters. That would make sense, because no matter what, you can show them the truth and they will deny and call you names. Well, you're kind of denying what I'm saying, because you're going against me calling them dumb or naive and gullible. So you're doing what you're saying that other people do. I don't get it. I'm showing you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, but you're denying me. So you're being hypocritical. Do you understand? Do you understand these words? Do I have to break down hypocritical too? Anyways, whatever. And then you said, tell you you're going to hell. It's kind of the same madness when the Mandela effect changed the passage in the Bible. The lion will lay into the lamb, blah, blah, blah. Change to the wolf will lay. I kind of read everything I wanted to read about this. And other things changed in the Bible. They lost their minds. It's not possible for them, blah, blah, blah. It's not possible for them to think outside the box. So what does that mean? It means they're naive and they're gullible, because they can't think outside the box. That means it's easy to trick them. It's easy to fool them. It's easy to feed them lies. It's easy to program them. So everything I said was 100% accurate. So you're agreeing with me again. Do you understand? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? You don't need to write all of this. Like, you agree with me, but you're trying to disagree and agree and disagree, agree. What are you doing? Stop. It's annoying. That's the truth. It's really annoying. The boxer become aware of things as in knowing you know that you know yet not. See, this is the thing. I hate when people do this. I'm sorry. When you try to sound smart, when you just repeat something you heard someone else say and you're like, let me say it because I think it sounds cool, so let me put it here. Stop. You're a smart person. You know a lot of things. You don't need to overdo it. Okay? I already agree with a lot of things you say. But you need to understand me now and don't try to correct me when you're not in a position to correct me. You're not. You're just not intelligent enough or have enough knowledge. You have a lot of knowledge, don't get me wrong. And you did say in one of your comments, you're like, well, God showed me the truth, or the universe showed me the truth, and you know the truth. So then you know everything you need to know. So then I guess you don't need to talk to me, or you don't need to tell me anything, or are you trying to correct me? Which one is it? Like, what's happening here? But whatever. Because I like you. Like I said, I think you're a good person. I like talking to you, but just stop with this over-the-top shit where you're trying to correct what doesn't need to be corrected. And then I said, I agree with most of your comment, but dumb as you call them or naive and gullible as I call them, it's all the same to me. Blah, blah, blah. You guys can read this. I'm not going through this shit. But I'm just going to show you where she did it again, okay? She did it again here. Not all humans are stupid and ignorant, but I get what you're saying. Why do you have to qualify what you're going to say by trying to correct what I said? If there's one thing, if you want to push my buttons, if you want to piss me off, trying to correct me when you're saying the same shit I'm saying, it's like the most annoying shit you can do. Stop. Like, why are you doing this shit? You did it again. You did it 12 days ago. You're doing it 1 day ago. And then you start saying the same shit that I said. It's either NPCs are very damaged, brainwashed humans that can't handle the truth, or others who don't agree with them. And then you said something else that kind of annoyed me, where you were like, well, somebody else said this information and now you're talking about it. I forgot which video. It might have been I forgot which video you said it in, but I think it was the one with Peanut. Let me check. Was it the one with Peanut? It might have been. I don't know. I forgot where it's at. But anyways, just don't do this thing where you try to correct me and then you end up saying the same shit that I say. It makes no sense to me. Like, this is a waste of time. I'm wasting time talking about this. You said it's either NPC or very damaged, brainwashed humans that can't handle the truth, or others who don't agree with them. So this is what's annoying. When I'm telling you the truth, you're disagreeing with me in your first statement. And then you're saying the same thing. And then I said to you in one of these comments, what did I say here? I like you, but please stop trying to qualify blah, blah, blah. You guys can read this. Stop. I don't need people to correct me. I didn't make this channel. This isn't the correct real truth channel. This is the I'm going to say what I'm going to say and you listen or don't listen channel. Okay? That's what this is. This isn't I'm here to listen to you guys correct me. We can have a conversation if you want to tell me what you know, but I'm not here to be corrected by humans. I just want you to understand that. There's not one goddamn human on this planet that can teach me anything. Listen to my words carefully. There's not one goddamn human on this godforsaken planet that can teach me anything. Okay? I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to be nice about this shit. This is as nice as I'm going to be, too. And then I said, if you show me an intelligent human, then I'll stop saying they're stupid. I won't hold my breath. Show me a smart human. Show me. Do you think you're a smart human? Do you know another one? Just because you have information or you know some knowledge doesn't make you smart. I hope you know that. There are a lot of dumb people that know a lot of shit. There are a lot of dumb people, a lot of unwise people that know a lot of shit. Remember that. Don't forget it. Okay? I'm not one of them. So don't come to me trying to educate me, teach me. It's not going to work. All right, so now we're going to get into the comments that I actually wanted to touch on and what this video is really about. So Robbies, I hope you're watching because this one's for you. This video is actually supposed to be about you, but kind of spent too much time on the other people. But anyways, whatever. So Robbie said, oh my, there's a lot to say here. Some people, and this is the the video with Mike Tyson, so you guys can go watch that. I'm not gonna go through it again. I'll just summarize it quickly. Basically, I said that Mike Tyson was right when he said legacy means nothing and life after death. That's a whole nother topic, okay? So he was like, Mike Tyson said if he dies, whatever, who cares about legacy? It's an ego thing. And what the audacity it takes for people to want to be remembered when they die. It's like you want people to think about you when you're dead. You should be thinking about the people that are living. You shouldn't be thinking about people that are dead. They're dead, they're gone. Forget about it. Move on. Let's, progress. Go to the future. Stop worrying about the past. But anyways, so Robbie didn't like, and I don't want to say he didn't like, but he definitely disagreed with a lot of things I said. And I'm going to have to set you straight, Robbie, because I like you, man, or woman, whatever you are. But you're like, you say a lot of things that I don't like or I agree with. Let me say it that way. You say a lot of things I don't. All right, let me stop beating around the bush. There are a lot of things you say that are stupid and I don't agree with. I don't like it. I'm just going to cut the shit. But I like you as a person. So please, and you said you don't get easily offended. I hope so. I'm going to try to be as respectful as I can be. But it's very difficult when you keep saying shit that's straight up stupid shit. I can't say it in a nicer way. Anyways, so he says, oh my, there's a lot to say here. Some people say you would have a very bad attitude towards life. Okay. And I give a shit about that. But anyways, I say it is what it is and it's yours to have. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're giving me permission to have my attitude. But I didn't ask you or anyone else for permission. So I could give a fuck. I don't really, I say this all the time. I say, I don't give a fuck what you guys think. I'm just going to tell you the truth. You guys do what you want with it. Now we can have a conversation. But if you're going to say stupid shit to me and I tell you the real truth and you don't like it, then there's a problem. And the problem needs to be resolved. Whether you stop talking to me, whether we get to an understanding. And I'm going to try to do that here. I'm going to try to make you understand what I'm saying. But I don't need anyone's permission. I don't need anyone's approval. I didn't make this channel to gain approval from a lot of people, because if that was the case, I'd be like Tim fucking Pool. I'd just be making videos about the news all the time and reading CNN and Fox News. But I don't do that, do I? I talk about what the fuck is really happening, because the stuff that's really happening, they're not going to tell you in the news. You're not going to see the real truth in the news. But I'll tell you about it. But anyways, I hope you understand where I'm coming from here. I'm not trying to be mean. But I don't need your approval. I don't need anyone's approval, okay? Then you said, but there are good people in this world, and there's something more after you die. Okay, I know that. So I don't know why you're telling me this. I've talked... Robbies, this is what I recommend you do. I hope you have free time or you have some time to watch or whatever. Go watch all my old videos. And go watch all my live streams. I talked about especially in my live streams, I talked about a lot of crazy shit. More than in my videos. I know a lot of shit. I know there's life after death. We're not even supposed to die. We're supposed to be immortal. I have died at birth. I was dead. I came back to life. I hope you understand that. So, my introduction to this world was death. Now, but I'm still here, right? So, let me explain something to you. When you die, that's another realm, that's another reality, that's another existence. What you do here does not cross over to your death. It doesn't go with you. You don't take your money, you don't take your name, you don't take anything other than the experience that you had. And guess what? It's a memory. It's a personal memory that you keep with you in your soul for eternity. You had this life and now you're dead. Now you move on to the next thing. Okay? That's how it works. So when Mike Tyson said, legacy means nothing, who cares about me when I die? I'm dust. That is the truth. Mike Tyson is dead. Gone. There's not going to be another Mike Tyson unless they clone his ass that can carry on his legacy. And no one's going to care in like 50 or 100 years who the fuck Mike Tyson was. No one's going to care. So again, Why are you telling me that there's something more after you die? What does that mean? Now, if you're religious and you believe in heaven and hell and karma and all this other nonsense, right? Then that's where you can start to say, oh, well, it does matter what you do here because your karma and your evil deeds, your sins follow you into your death and blah, blah, blah. And neither you go to heaven and hell. If you believe in fucking religions, then yeah, what you're saying makes sense. But your next comment or line is, I'm not religious by any means, but I have proof that there's something more after death. Okay, where did I say in this video that there isn't something after death? All I said is when you die, this physical body ceases to exist. Your name, everything you were, all your thoughts, everything that happened while you were alive is gone with you. Gone. Do you understand? So what are you talking about? I never said there wasn't anything after death. I just said that this life is done when you die. That's what I said. And that's what Mike Tyson said. That's the truth. Period. End of story. Okay? So now let's go to your next comment. And you guys can read what I said there. Whatever. I'm not going to reiterate that. Then you said, I disagree with you about history stuff because in the video I said people need to stop worrying about history and focus on the future. And this is what really pissed me off when you said this shit. This is what you triggered me when you said this. I just want you to understand, Robbie. You pissed me the fuck off when you said this shit. So in the video, I said people need to stop worrying about history because all they do is repeat it anyways. They're not learning from the past. They're not improving. Things are just as bad as they were before. So stop focusing on that shit and make a new future, a better future. You don't need to know the evils of the past to do better in the future. Just do better in the future. Don't worry about what happened before. You don't need to compare. Just be a good person and move on. I promise you, people that don't know about history are better people than people that do. The people that know about history tend to repeat it. They tend to see what's happening and they're like, oh, that happened before? Let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can repeat that evil. It taints their mind. It fucks with them. And they keep on repeating it. And let me show you the proof. I have proof of what I'm saying. You say you have proof of the afterlife, whatever. Okay, I have proof of what I'm saying. The world as we see it. Look at the world. This is a world that has been taught history over and over and over in every country. They've been taught about World War II, World War I, all this shit. Guess what? We still have wars. We still have killing. We still have all this division, racism. All this shit is still here. So what good has history done if the shit is still being repeated? Can you explain that to me? Shit hasn't changed. So who gives a fuck about history? What good is it doing? How about we forget about it and stop talking about it? Because that's what everybody's doing. That's why they keep fighting about the same shit, because they're still talking about the past. Let's move past the past to the present and then on to the future and make a better future. Why can't we do that? Why do we need the history? We don't need it. And I know your stupid ass thinking. Sorry, but this is the truth. Your stupid ass thinking is, oh, well, if we know history, we won't repeat it. It's important to know, to learn from the past. Well, how come that's not happening then? Again, I present to you the world as my proof, my evidence that what I'm saying is true and what you're saying is bullshit. Look at the world as what it is. Look at what's happening. Shit is still the way that it's always been. We're still warmongering, still killing each other, still have countries and divisions, languages, religions. Everything's still the fucking same. So what are you talking about? We haven't learned anything. Anyways, let me calm down a little bit. So, I already read this shit. I already replied here. You guys can read this shit. I'm not going to read that again. This person, Rafi, said history is questionable at best. The victor writes the history pages. So how trustworthy is history anyway? Exactly. Thank you. This person is on the ball. So if history is written by the victors, how can you trust history? Think about it. Because whoever wins gets to write the story. They can write whatever the fuck they want to write. Because they won. And I guarantee you, if the other side won, they would have written a different history. Do you understand? That's how it works. So what are you talking about? And then Robbie says, but it is the history that has taught us about the evil ones? No. What are you talking about? Where in school do you learn about demons and aliens? When I talk about the evil ones, I'm not talking about humans. Humans are fucking puppets. They're pawns. Nowhere in school did I ever learn about greys or reptilians or anything else other than Hitler and all these normal humans. Do you know who was controlling Hitler? Have you ever heard of the Giza intelligence? They're a group of evil Pleiadians. Did you know that? They're aliens. Well, they're human aliens, but they're aliens regardless. They were the ones that were controlling Hitler, and they're the ones that told him to do all the shit he did. That's why he was trying to make everybody have blonde hair and blue eyes. Because that's what they believed in. So they instilled that in Hitler. They brainwashed him and made him do all the evil shit he did. That's why he did all the shit he did. Because he was being controlled. Again, I'm going to say this again. Humans have always been controlled by other forces. They've never ever done anything on their own. Ever. There's never been a human, in at least in the government and in politics, the ones that control the world, they've never done it on their own. They've always had people controlling them. That's always how it's been. It's been like that since humans have been on this planet. And it has yet to stop. To this day, it's like that. That's why I'm saying the shit I'm saying. Because it hasn't changed. And I'm trying to fix that. I'm against that. Do you understand? So it's not about humans and Hitler and fucking Mussolini and all these other people. It's not about fucking Osama bin Laden and all these other motherfuckers. They're humans. They don't matter. They're irrelevant. They're just pawns that are being used to do evil shit. So is that who you thought I was talking about when I said the evil ones? I'm not talking about fucking humans. I'm talking about aliens and demons. Supernatural shit. Not earthly shit. Are you crazy? I thought you were listening to me, Robbie. You're watching my videos, but you're not listening. You understand? Turn the volume on. Unmute my videos. Maybe you don't like the way I sound. You need to unmute the video so you can hear what I'm saying. Because if you're watching it with the sound off, you're going to miss all the shit that I'm saying. You're not going to understand me. But I hope you're listening to this shit. Because I'm explaining everything as good as I can explain it to you. Anyways. Then you say, so if we didn't know that they were evil, wouldn't we be repeating it anyway? I knew you were going to say the stupid shit. This is the excuse that everybody that's focused on history says. This fucking NPC bot shit. Oh, well, we're going to repeat it. Don't you understand that by learning the history is what's causing it to repeat, you dumb... I'm sorry. You dumb person. By reading and learning about it, that's what's brainwashing people and MK Ultraing people to become warmongers and repeat the history they're supposedly against. Do you understand? This is why racism and wars keep repeating. Because people keep doing the same shit that they read in the books. That's what the books are for. Who do you think came out with these curriculums and school systems? It was the evil ones, the demons, the aliens. They created all this shit. So they can have the world that they have. To loosh farm off of humans. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to be nice, but it's hard when you're saying stupid shit like this, man. Anyways, how many times of people looked up to the so-called elite, I don't know what the hell you're saying, who have pushed their own narrative, I guess you're saying the elite, who have pushed their own narrative so that others may see them differently than what they really are. You're focused on, this is your issue right now, Robbie. I see what your problem is. You really think that humans control something. Get that shit out of your head. Humans don't control shit, okay? That's your problem. That's why you think history matters. That's why you think going to school matters. That's why you think worrying about humans matters. That's why you're not understanding me, because I'm not fucking talking about humans. Okay? So watch my videos, because you're missing the message. You're not getting it. And then you say, why do you call them evil if you don't want to know their history? I'm trying to get to a point where I expose the history of the true evil ones that control the world, the demons and the aliens, where they came from and why they do what they do. But you can't even understand what I'm talking about in terms of who they are. You think I'm talking about humans. So how am I going to explain to you about the higher forces that exist if you're talking about humans? The history of the demons and aliens that exist on this planet and that have come from elsewhere is not the same as human history. The human history that they have given to us and taught us is the history they want us to know and learn about so that they can control us. They don't want us to know the truth. That's why they don't teach you the shit I'm saying in school. Nothing that I say on this channel is taught in school. Nothing. There's not one thing I've said on any of my YouTube channels that has been taught in school. Because they don't want the real truth there. But anyways, now you're responding to Rafi and you say, yes, this is what we've been told. Let me see what else you said. We have been told a lot of things, but without really being there, how can we know anything is for sure? We can't. Okay? That's actually probably the first most intelligent thing you've ever said. That's the truth, right? This is why I tell people, I've said this in the past, you can't prove anything. Even the things that I say, I'm going to tell you guys the real truth. You believe me or you fucking don't. Same thing with Kim Gogan. Same thing with Donald Trump. Same thing with Biden. Same thing with anyone that you have ever heard in your life. You're either going to believe that person or you're not. And you know what makes you believe them or not? It's based on your life experiences. I've had experiences in my life that lead me to believe a lot of things that Kim is saying is the truth, especially when it comes to supernatural shit. And when I hear other people talk about supernatural shit, and I've experienced it myself, I tend to believe those people because I've dealt with it. So I know what they're talking about. And that's how people come to the truth in their lives, is learning and experiencing on their own. And then they believe shit. Do you understand? A lot of people that don't know anything, they only have experiences based on school or work or whatever. They have a normal human experience and they don't know anything. So they try to argue with people that have had experiences. And I find those people to be extremely stupid and ignorant, because how are you going to try to tell somebody that has had a supernatural experience that they're wrong when you haven't had any? You don't know anything about it. So you can't talk about that subject. And I'm not talking about you specifically, but what I'm saying, this is the issue that I see going on in the world where people try to discredit other people. And I'm like, you haven't had any experiences. You can't discredit somebody that has had experiences. But again, back to what you just said, which is probably the smartest thing you've ever said in your life. You can't know anything unless you've experienced it yourself. Whether it's history, aliens, it doesn't matter. We can talk about anything. If you haven't experienced it yourself, the next best thing you can do is either believe someone or not. That's why you have choice, right? They call it free will. It's your free will to either believe someone or not. Right? You get to choose. But that's it. You can't prove a goddamn thing in this world. Because as we talked about in the live stream, I don't know if you were there for that. When you have Mandela effect and people going back and changing history, like time travel and shit like that, it's impossible to know what the reality of the world is or what the real truth is, because it keeps changing. So the truth, the real truth, is what's going on at that moment. That moment in time is what the real truth is. Whatever the history is at that time, that's what it is. It can be changed and altered. We can switch dimensions, we can switch realities, but the real truth is, what are your experiences and what's going on in that moment in history and time? That's the only real truth there is. Everything else is subject to interpretation or perception or belief. It's subject to your decision to want to believe something or not. Then you said, but one thing we can know for sure is that by looking back on a recent history, we can see the actions they have taken to try to make us believe a certain way. Exactly what I just said. There's a pattern to the idiocy that we have to live through in this world today. Okay. See, and this is probably the best comment you've ever made, because everything pretty much you said here, I agree with. But sad to say, Robbie, but this is rare for you. It's rare for you to make sense like this. Everything else you're saying is mumbo jumbo, but at least that makes sense. Anyways, then you come back and you say, I disagree with you there. And I don't even know what you're talking about. You said there's so many more people that are waking up to what has been done. It may not seem like it, but why else would Trump be reelected or selected? I should say, if people weren't waking up. Well, as I explained in all my videos talking about Trump and the elections, it's all fake. And the evil ones that control the world that are not human, they're aliens or demons, whatever. They're the ones that decide who gets elected or selected. It's not humans. Humans don't get to pick anything. It doesn't matter what humans want. You think it matters what humans want? They don't give a fuck about that. It's about their agenda and what they're trying to do. You know what the point of this election was? To make people believe that elections are real. That's what the point of this election was. That's why Donald Trump was selected. It's to make people believe in the bullshit. That's it. That's all it was for. And you seem to believe it. But whatever. And then you say, you both made great points. But it is through our own points of view and how we are understanding what has been done. Do we see a certain set of ideas or beliefs that we each have? I don't know what you're saying, but okay. Through our own life experiences, are we able to understand where we get our points of view from? I'm going to say this again. The real truth is your choice. That's the truth. There's real truth, and then there's real truth that you want to accept. So, like, I talk about what I talk about, but I'd be damned if I'm going to be able to prove everything I say. I can't prove all the shit that I say. I can show you where I got a lot of information, but a lot of things that have happened to me personally, I can't prove that shit to you. You either believe me or you fucking don't. So unfortunately, everyone has to decide what the real truth is for themselves. But I'm trying to give you guys what I know to be the real truth, and you can agree or disagree, and I'm showing you how I get there. I'm showing you my logic. I'm showing you my thinking. I'm showing you my reasoning. You guys can either agree or disagree. It's your choice. Everyone has a choice to make on what they want to believe. That's the real truth, sadly. So I've heard people say in the past, the truth is not subjective. Yes, it is. Because you can present somebody with all types of evidence, and if they refute you and don't want to listen to anything you say, you can't make them see the truth. So it doesn't matter. Do you understand? So the truth is very much subjective. Sadly, I wish it was absolute, but it changes from person to person. But I'm sharing with you guys what I find to be the most reasonable and realist truth that most people can see if they open their eyes. But you know what's scary or weird about my real truth? It's very rare. Not many people see it and understand it. So it's hard for me to... That's why I don't have many viewers, right? Or many subs. Because most people don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Or they've just never experienced it. But that's why I'm trying to share what I know. Anyways, all three of us can be standing in the same place going through the same experience, but each take away a different perspective of what happened. If it is the same experience, the same exact things have happened. How can we all come away with something different? Because that's called human perception. We all see through different eyes. We are all different people. We all perceive the world differently based on our experiences and our souls. It's not just about the human life, but whatever your soul has experienced in many lives before. I don't remember a lot of my past lives, but I do retain my cognition and my ability to break down information and my logic. So it's easy for me. Like, the one thing that I have kept through all my lives is I can see through the bullshit. I see the truth for what it is. Nobody can fool me. Nobody can brainwash me. Nobody can manipulate me. It's impossible. I see the truth for what it is, period. And I speak about it. And that's it. It's the old thing of the... You said it's the old thing of, is the glass half empty or half full? Again, this is a subjective thing. It's neither answer is right, or it's not a right or wrong thing. It's based on what people want to believe. If you want to believe the glass is half empty, that's what you choose. If you want to believe that glass is half full, that's what you chose. You believe what the fuck you want. Look at the world for the way you want to look at it. But don't get surprised when somebody shows you that maybe you're wrong about the way you're seeing things. That's all I'm saying. Like for me, I've yet to meet somebody that can do that. But I have people that think that they know better, or they try to say things and they get corrected. It is what it is. Then you said, what changes have happened are so subtle that most people have missed what's been done. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So many people have missed these subtle little changes that have been done and are still being done that we are not able to recognize the changes for what they are. Well, I'll say this. I agree with you that most people do miss that, but I don't. And I know someone else that doesn't. I know at least 2, maybe 3 people in this world that see all the changes for what they are. Like, I know where I came from. I know what dimension and reality I came from. And I know the changes that exist in this world. I can see all of it. But like you said, most people can't. But I can. Maybe you can't. Maybe someone else can't. But I can. I'm just saying. Anyways. Then you say, it is my opinion and belief that time itself has changed. Yeah. Time has definitely sped up. I'll say that. And I do believe that we will one day look back and realize that we have time travel without even realizing. Well, see, this is the thing, man. When you say we, I hope you're not including me in your little we group or your we club, okay? Because I'm not part of whatever we you're talking about. I'm on my own, man. Don't include me in your shit. I hope you're not including me in your shit. Because I can see everything. I know what I've been through. I know what I've done. I know what I've experienced. If you can't realize it or you can't see it, speak for yourself or speak for someone else. But don't speak for me. That's all I'm saying. I hope you're not including me in that. Then you said, in one of the subtle changes that has happened in the internet, the web, I do believe that has been integrated for a few years now. Doesn't matter where you post. It's all been looked at because of this integration of these spaces. Okay. And I think that's all you said. Then I said, I'm going to respond. I didn't read these comments until now. So while I was reading them, I had to process them and I had to think about how to respond to them. But all in all, Robbie, I think you're a good person. I don't really have a personal problem with you. I just think that you say a lot of stupid shit. And like even the way you ended it, you seem to know things, but then you're saying this we shit here without realizing it. So you're like, well, how can I realize something? But then you're realizing things. It makes no sense the way you speak. Like, do you know things or do you not know things? Which one is it? It can't be both. You can't be like, well, I don't know if I've realized if I've done anything or experienced anything or time traveled. But at the same time, I do believe that it has been. So you believe that things have happened, but they, like, make up your mind, right? Like, you're even confusing me. It's like, do you believe that things have happened? And that you've experienced change and integration and switching timelines, or time has sped up? Or do you not believe this? Or do you not realize it? Or do you not know it? Make up your mind. Like, what do you want to do? It's like you're in the middle. Like, you want to be somebody that's wise, but at the same time, you want to be like naive. Pick your road and stick to the road that you pick and go that way. Okay. If you want to be naive, then stop talking about all this shit. And just let me teach you. And if you don't want to learn from me, go learn from somebody else. But if you want to be knowledgeable and knowing, then understand my words and respond accordingly. Because a lot of things you said here, I just showed you how wrong you were. And you're not a bad person. I don't have a problem with you. But please, fix the things you're saying. They're not making sense, okay? That's all I'm saying. No ill will, no hostility. Yeah, I got a little bit angry. Some of the things you said, because it's just plain stupid. And then you're not the only person that says this. That's why when I see you repeat what other people say, it sounds like an NPC or a robot, right? Like, I'm like, well, this guy's just repeating what somebody else said. Like, oh, well, history, you got to know history because we're going to repeat. Blah. Oh, I hate when fucking people say that. Whenever people say that, I think they're really stupid. I really do. I'm like, you got to be one dumb motherfucker to say that shit. Well, history, if we don't know it, we'll repeat. History will repeat itself. That's why we need to learn. Oh my fucking God, I hate that shit. Anyways, I said enough. I think you guys get the point. If you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.